Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We get a list of 11 properties on the Toronto system with 3 more on the Oakville system. Probably not one of the stronger lists I've seen in the last few days. So if you have something better to do or if you want to hang out outside, go ahead and do it right now. I'll give you a second. Okay, if you're still here, check out our new directional signs.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
I think they're pretty awesome, and that's the way we roll. We like to have fun, and I had a lady one time who unsubscribed to these videos. She said, Chuck, you're not professional enough. Here's the thing. Everyone on this team knows their stuff like crazy, and it's like, why not have some fun? You'll probably hear some background noise. That's what's been stopping us from videos some of the time, but it's important to have fun. Okay, so we know our stuff, and we goof around a bit. So 100 Millside is $239. It's a 1-bedroom. This is a very popular building with like the 50+ crowd. They haven't shown anything about the unit, so I'm guessing at this price point it's probably not that nice inside. It's probably more original condition. This building was built kind of early 90s and early to mid 90s, somewhere around there. And 801 is a decent floor. You can see one of the things that we look at here is exposure south. That's pretty good. From the 8th floor, you're still going to get a pretty good view of the rest of the town. And this one certainly gets my endorsement. Even if you come in, how much would it take to take an original condition condo and put it up to a good standard? You can do a lot with a few $1,000s in a bathroom. Complete reno might cost you between $5,000 and $10,000 depending on how you do it. And then, flooring is $5 a square foot plus maybe $2 to install. So you're $7 a square foot there. Kitchens, you can go crazy, but you can still do a pretty decent job with a condo kitchen for, again, same as the bathroom, $5,000 to $10,000 goes a long way, including appliances, countertops, and everything else. So really, let's just say even put $20,000 in. It's a good affordable option for somebody who's okay with a 1-bedroom. We do find that people that downsize sometimes want that 2nd bedroom as an option for whatever, for having guests stay over or having a little office or something like that. It can come in handy. So that's the one thing, is your 1-bedroom crowd isn't always as big as your 2-bedroom crowd. So short read is $335, 1051 square feet. It's called a cherrywood model, and overall everything looks pretty neutral. The flooring, it looks like they've got carpet through the hallway, but the bedrooms have the laminate floors, and then you also have the laminate on the main floor. There's a park at the end of short read, so it's a good location, and that's around what they sell for. It depends just on how it shows. Burgess looks really nice. This is the only village town, similar style to the previous one, but it's an end unit. It's about 250 square feet bigger. And you've got an eat-in here. You've got a big open concept living dining. The floors have been upgraded, and that's around what they sell for. So hey, that one looks good too. Panton's $415. You've got probably a builder finished basement. That's a good shot of the whole floor plan and how it all comes together. I really like the flow of this one. I think they've kept it really well. I like that little accent wall in the kitchen. Bedrooms are a nice size, and you've even got a little office space upstairs right here. And then it looks like most of the backyard is deck. So there are some people that like to have a bit of grass. It's not that hard to rip out a deck if you didn't like that complete deck throughout the whole backyard. But easy, low maintenance. Price looks good compared to what else is sold. A couple of today's listings don't have pictures. This one's 1,700 square feet on Gleason. And they tend to be a little bit more long and narrow, but they're not bad layouts. Usually it's just the kitchen plus kind of a living area and maybe a dining / eat-in area beside the kitchen. But everything looks okay here. For the size, that's around where I'd expect. In fact, it's pretty competitive, and there are homes that are smaller that are listing around that price. Milton Brook is $479. You're 1,854 square feet, semi-detached. I'd rather go to some of the Mattamy homes, get a finished basement, pay less than $480 for it. This one's a little bit newer, so they tend to charge a little bit more. But you're still putting your fence in. There's still some things here that you'd want to do. Sometimes even the newer ones need window coverings and so on. I just think there's better value. But I also know that the homes in that size category in this area do tend to sell pretty quick. for what I consider to be around that asking price. So Clark is $488. Detached home, probably a smaller detached home. You can see from even the room sizes here, it's probably one of a handful of models. The only other thing I'd be concerned about, 1673, I'd have to check this on a map, but it's probably pretty close to James Snow Parkway. Convenient for travel, but you get too close to there and you start to get the noise factor. Black Drive is $489. So it looks like it's linked at the garage only. Functionally, you can say it's probably pretty close to a semi-detached. Excuse me. And then they've got a good finished basement here too. Not sure the size of this particular model. It's a little bit hard to tell from the angle. And it's on the south side of Black, so I believe that this one is around the bend and it's not backing onto Thompson. Carbert is $518, 1750 square feet. I don't know how they fit a dining table in this room because it's not big. It's probably more designed as like a home office, but the photography, the presentation certainly looks nice. It's well kept, clean, tidy. For 1750 square feet, it might be a little bit on the high side, especially without the hardwood floors. This one on Solomon is about 2,200 square feet. Nice French door into that front room. And this one's a little bit wider than Solomon. You'll feel, obviously, it's a lot bigger going into this compared to that. More upgrades, more finishes. The ones that we've seen, this model, when we've seen it sell before, I've seen a little bit more upgrading, like the granite counters and things like that for the same price. And to fence this place is probably, I would guess, on average about $1,500–1,600 and that's including sharing the cost of the fence with your neighbors. Wettlaufer is about 2,700 square feet, $719. And to be honest, I don't think it's really going anywhere at this price. I think they're going to have a tough time when they're listed at anything that starts with a 7. Whoops. And then we go over to 3 more on the Oakville board. Barclay is 1,580 square feet plus a finished basement. And so you've got a long living dining, plus you've got a family kitchen off in the back. Little tough to put the like an eat-in area. The kitchen's a little bit more narrow. So what they've done is they put like a little breakfast bar right here in between those 2 rooms. It's almost better sometimes if you don't have that wall, because then you can start to configure the space a little bit differently. They've upgraded the floors upstairs, and then you've got your finished basement. I don't think the price is that far off. We've seen this version of this home without the finished basement go, I think, in the 430s. So seems to be right in line. It's funny because this one doesn't have an address. It's just McNabb Crescent. So it's almost like they're selling the whole street. Green apples, and I would say that they've done a decent job inside. I would imagine, without seeing this one in person, that it probably looks pretty good when you go have a look at it. $489 is, well, it really depends on how it shows. Detached homes in that neighborhood will probably go anywhere from about $450 up to maybe $550. And then we've got this one on Guelph line at $859. And I'm not seeing a lot in here. I mean, it's nice you've got your wainscoting, the upgraded floors. The kitchen looks like it's in pretty good shape. But for the size of the home and the size of the land at $859, maybe you're getting some value from something like this, like a heated workshop. It is pretty close to town. Guelph line and Dundas isn't too far away. I'm a big fan of that sort of Cape Cod, like with the dormers and stuff like that. I like the look of that home. That's actually very similar to the home that I live in when you look at the front appearance. So location, bit of a premium. You do have access. You don't feel like you're completely way off the mark here, where you're just in the middle of nowheres. You have a little bit of activity around Lowville Bistro and so on. So that's a good thing, is that you're a little more connected. Even though you've got a rural property, you've got a lot more land, and I could see certain people really enjoying that. So that's the list for today. Not anything that I'd kind of like blow your mind awesome, but there's some decent options in this list. So let's hope tomorrow is a rockin' list, and Lionel Richie wishes you all the best for the rest of the day.